Hello, this reading is going to be for Cancer. This is going to be your weekly for the week ending the 22nd. This is going to be from the 15th to the 22nd. Let's see what we have for you, Cancer. Okay, what can we get for Cancer for the week 15th to the 22nd? What can we get for Cancer for the week 15th to the 22nd? So we've been getting a lot of good little messages for everybody. So we'll just continue with that, hopefully. What can we get for Cancer for the week 15th to the 22nd? Intention. We're going to put that in the middle. What else can we get for Cancer? For the week 15th to the 22nd. Work. Alright, what else can we get for Cancer? Oh, let's bar all of it out. Okay. Alrighty, we have self-acceptance, Cancer. We have, self-sufficiency. Okay. It's a lot of self-work on Cancer. We have true love. We have direction. We have calmness. Oh, we have loneliness. And we have spaciousness. Okay. So the first thing we have is self-acceptance and self-sufficiency. That's being okay with being able to deal with things that come your way. That's just about being resilient, but that's accepting all that happens, all the woes, all the letdowns, accepting yourself, flaws and all. Oh, there's a song that says, you love my flaws. Kiara Sheard. Think they make me beautiful. You don't see them as flaws at all. That's why I love you, because you are the one who love my flaws. So that's accepting yourself and seeing yourself the way God sees you. But we do have work and true love. So for some reason, that's telling me there's something you work on, or something you work at, or somewhere that you work, whatever the work is that you do, is going to bring about a lover that's true. But I feel like there's working on the aspect of true love. It's an aspect, right? It's a depictment. It's something they tell us about, but that's working in it, or that's working with your actual lover. To bring about some truth. And we do have intention, right? At the end of that. So, like, I feel like these things were intended. It's like God made you the way He wanted to, but it's like God intended for, like, you to have these flaws, but to accept these flaws. So it's like He didn't make a mistake in making you. The mistake is thinking that you're made wrong or differently. That's the mistake in how you take it, right? But notice God's intention. But then we have loneliness and direction. So I feel like if you've been alone, or working at something alone, or doing things alone, or feeling alone in how you had to deal with your resilience, because resilience is bouncing back from things, and having to do that on your own. It's about to change direction to a sense of calmness, where you won't be worried about being alone, because you're going to be calm. Or they're either saying that you're able to shift the perspective of loneliness into a sense of calm. This is being at peace with yourself, so you can be in alone by your room but not be depressed. Some people can't do that. If they're alone in the room, the thoughts get the best of them. They get depressed, or they need drugs, or they need this and that to help them sit in. This is sitting in calmness. Peaceful environment. You notice the bird. But this is also spaciousness. And this is because you've let go of the aspect. So Cancer, something about the aspect of things. You no longer feed into that. Or like this week, you're going to understand not to feed into the aspect of it. And just let it be. All right, girl, we got that figured out. Let's go for true love. It's truth, love, when you say me, you need I need you, and you can't be without me, I can't be without you. None of that's on my Faith Evans. What's for true love? Gaining. This is gaining, and this is my idea. Like I said, you may be gaining a different understanding of it than everybody else in the room because they have an aspect of it. That's a limited view. That's just an aspect. And we only want to base it off of that. God works in mysterious ways. So I can't just take that aspect of it and think that that's the natural born truth, because it isn't. But this is like you gaining an understanding or an idea that's opposite, because this is the group of people who have an idea. So you're the way you feel about true love, the way you see it, and the understanding you've come to gain about it is different from these people. Now, I don't know how they work or what they got to do with anything. We're going to find out. Okay, what's for work? And this could be people challenging your aspect of it or your perception of it, but that's not even right, because your aspect or perception of it is based on who you are, based on the love of God being able to let you know. That's why you accept your flaws and you accept everything that comes your way. And they're not able to. These are people who say you can only get true love if you do this. Well, you've been through enough to know that that's not the only way to get anything, because you've been flawed and still been able to make it. You've had to be persistent or resilient and still been able to make it. So if it was based on one concept or one aspect, then how have you been able to survive the way you were with your flaws, with all that? How were you able to survive and be able to get there if it was only based on one concept? Hell, if it was only based on one concept, then, God wouldn't have put all those flaws or allowed all those things to happen. Because basically they're saying that their concept is bigger than the way God feels about it. That's what I'm going to say. But that's why I say there's a reason for these flaws and all that. They're not understanding that. So with work, this is like completing, ending. So I feel like people were doing things at your work or with your work, but this is them with their idea of it. But that's ending. Either them spying on you or using your work against you or looking at your work in a way they shouldn't have, because you do have, or working hard to debunk your truth about love. These are people who were working hard, because this is all the people watching, but they weren't just watching, they were working to kind of try to end your message or cause an ending to you because of your flaws, or because you're able to accept yourself, or trying to put their idea over yours. Your idea is your idea, your belief, that's your belief. So these are people who are trying to, or I'm here like struggling to try to make you believe the way they want you to believe. Y'all ain't gonna override God. I don't know why they do that. Them trying to override you is them trying to override what God told you. You don't know what God told me. So let me speak on what he told me, and you speak on what you found out. Because you must want to talking to the same guy that I was talking to. Or shit, your ear wasn't strong enough to hear what the fuck he said. I heard what he said and I repeated it the way I was supposed to. But they were trying to debunk your idea, or trying to make you believe their idea on true love. It's almost like you're debunking their system of true love, or the system of how love works. Or like I said, they try to go through the how you're supposed to get true love shit. What you're supposed to do. What? I'm not supposed to, y'all know they used to say I ain't supposed to do nothing but stay black and die. That's what they just reminded me of. I ain't supposed to do nothing but stay black, so they stay black and die. You don't have to believe what the fuck they believe. That doesn't. Girl, let's go to self-acceptance. But I will say they're trying to end working. This was more than one person trying to debunk, or not trying to, but trying to convert you into their religion, their science of it, their idea of it. But this is them knowing that you debunk their truth. This is the person who can go in and find flaws in your system. Bitch, why you trying to mess with me? I see the flaws in your system. So, yeah. Self-acceptance, we have active. So this is actively being able to accept yourself, but this is actively understanding your flaws and appreciating them. That's why I say you love my flaws. Think they make me beautiful. That's what Kiara Shear said. You don't see them as flaws at all. And this is this woman. So I feel like by you actively accepting yourself and accepting your flaws and not letting anybody get to you to make you feel like your flaws limit you, or your flaws hinder your love life, or just hinder you as a person. These are people who don't want you to love yourself and love, and they might be upset that you still are able to receive love even though you're flawed, because some people have to pretend and put on the perfect face to get love. You can just be you. I'm gonna be me and thug it out to the end and still receive love. But this person also could be having difficulty with their work life, and this could cause them to lose money, because this is the queen of this, but this is because of what they said about you. So there's somebody who has a lot to say about you, but it was a lot of nothing, because it's the Princess of Swords. This is a person that just get mad and says things that they can't take back, so to speak. So I feel like this queen of this, for this woman, she said things that she can't take back, that she has to deal with. But I feel like there's some kind of way affects her work life, or it's affecting her flow of money, because she's in reverse. And this might have been a person who lived behind their money, never having true worth. There we go. This person never had true worth. It was their money that made them feel powerful. Their money that made them feel like they can say something. Because I have this amount of money, I should be able to say something. But even with them saying something, it wasn't nothing to say, because it was the Princess of Swords. This is a person that they try to let their money talk for them. So basically, they don't have no conversation. They don't know how to have a decent conversation. What's for self-sufficiency? But that's why you can debunk their truth, because they can't even have proper conversation. So when you really get to explaining things, or trying to get an explanation, they don't know how to explain themselves, because they don't have no worth. It was all about their money or whatever. They can't explain shit to you. They probably can't explain to their damn self. But they probably gonna make it make sense, honey. But that's why you're able to debunk this. But we do have the attention. So self-sufficiency is like you probably were never an attention seeker. Or it's just that you're able to do for yourself. You don't need people to show you where to go. This is attention. This is somebody giving you attention. You don't need people to. That's why I say you don't need people to show you where to go, or how to love, or how love works. These people are mad because you didn't learn your love lessons from them, type shit. You didn't come into their love kingdom and figure out love through them. You have your own way of loving, right? But at the same token, with you having your own way of loving and your own way of doing things, it attracted people to you. But the people that were attracted to you were trying to work against you to try to make you change your love language into theirs. What are you talking about? Yeah, what did this one here too? But they're no longer wanting to do that. It's like people are seeing that you're right, but it's because you were persistent. So this is somebody who's persistently, like you may have been persistently trying to explain these to these people, and they just weren't getting it, or they didn't want to get it. But with this person even being like a small, their conversation is not as extensive, their brain isn't either. These are small-minded people. So you can't really, the stuff you say may go over their head. That's probably why you have to say it more than once. What, I didn't hear you. I know I just told you. It's like you have to say it more than once because whatever. Let's go for intention. But they're noticing they're no longer trying to call you out or go against you. You notice these are the primary cards in reverse right here. People that were trying to work against you to stop you debunking the truth because you might be helping other people. But these are okay. They're trying to tell me slave owners, right? Do not take offense to this. But these are like people who try to be slave owners or try to enslave people into a routine or enslave people to a ritual. Like they say, this is how you love. And you coming in debunking it was the reason why they tried to attack you. Because you were showing them that because you're supposed to love your flaws. These are people who say try to change your flaws or try to improve your flaws or whatever. I'm like, after doing all that, you just get to the point where you're just like, you know what, this is who I am. This is me. Oh, I'm just a girl trying to make a way. I know it get hard, but I'll be okay. I don't really care what the people say, cause this is me. That's Fantasia. A mother and daughter, a sister, my brother. I'm every woman, cause I gotta be. Yeah, this is me. So what's for intention? And I know I can do it. You know, and it say God took me through it because He knew I can do it. Okay, so for intention, you have the public defender and the Ace of Cups. So that's like, that's why I say they don't know how God intended to make this, or why God made you that way. But this is being publicly recognized and is going to be fulfilling to you and others because everything God does has a reason. Even your flaws have a reason for being there. They help other people deal with their flaws, and also your flaws work for somebody else. Always. That flaw that you consider a flaw, God did not say it was a flaw. Man, these are man-made flaws. Like, men are saying that it's a flaw. God never said that. That's why she said, you love my flaws. God said, I love your flaws. You think they make me beautiful. You don't see them as flaws at all. Like, what? These are the people who are trying to make you think what's about you, even if you see it as a flaw too. But it's like you've you've corrected the sight within yourself to say this can't really be a flaw because God allowed me to be this way. And as much as I've changed other things, this one thing has not changed. So this can't be a flaw. Like, you understand that, but other people were trying to push you into thinking that the way you were was a flaw. But it's going to be publicly realized that, but it's going to bring about fulfillment to you. That people are going to see that there were people who were intending to, like, make you a flaw or call you out. These are people who try to say stuff as a flaw before you even do it. Like, watch her, I bet she gonna mess up, or watch her, I bet she gonna do this, or watch her, I bet, like, why would you do that? They ain't even giving you a chance to break the rules yet. They trying to already say you're gonna break them, but anyway, we do have loneliness. Let's see, but this is going to be publicly recognized that people were intending to mess up your flow because the Ace of Cups is something flowing emotionally. People were purposely trying to mess up your flow, but they were trying to enslave you into their religion, their understanding. And it's like, you're not my slave owner, and I'm not your slave. And we're not finna do that. What's for loneliness? And this is you helping other people too understand that they're not a slave to the system. You're not a slave to the way men is creating things, unless you want to be. I ain't gonna stop you from wanting to be a part of that. But I can only tell you what it is. What's for loneliness? This is peace. That's why I say this is somebody who finds peace in their alone time. And they're not condemned by it. But this is the dress up and this is the balance. So it's like, even with your alone time, like, you don't have to dress up like your peace or your balance. And you're not dressing up the fact that you actually meditate. This is somebody who's actually meditated, or somebody who actually learned something. Or actually, you have a reason for understanding love the way you do. And they're trying to say you don't. But this is because you spent that time with yourself and you understand this. But this is peace and balance. This is bringing peace to, like, people who were dressing up. So this is also people who were dressing up the religion, dressing up the way love works. This is them trying to bring peace or trying to get on the same page with you. So these are people who are off balance themselves. So that's why they may have tried to like diss you or may have tried to say your, things are try to interfere with you debunking the truth. They wanted you to have that understanding by yourself. They didn't want other people to catch on to what you were saying because it was gonna fuck up their organization or fuck up their what is their plantation? Because these are slaves. They just act like slave owners, and they want you to be on their plantation. The fuck? I thinks the fuck not. Thanks the fuck not. But this is because they were off balance or whatever. So they're starting to get balanced to understand. What's for direction? Y'all, where did that go? What can we get for direction? But that's why it's changing the direction of it. Oh, this is God, y'all. I said that in the beginning, God intended for you to have those flaws because it was for a reason to help. It might not have helped them because they're slave owners. Why the fuck do they think they need help? They don't think they need. They the ones who need the most fucking help. But you need the most fucking help. But we have God here. He's changing the direction of love, what it looks like, what it feels like, what it sounds like in your life, but also the life of people who get the understanding from you. But that's why you're here to show them. Like I said, you love my flaws, think they make me beautiful. God loves our flaws. He thinks they make us beautiful. He created that. He intended that. I said that. He intended that for a reason. But these people were trying to tell a story. These are people who tell fables. They tell fables. That's what they used to call them back in the day, right, God? Fables. Telling fucking fables and shit. So then you come in with your insight and people want to knock that or say that it's not right or try to stop your work because they lost in fucking La La Land and they believe in fables. That's your problem, not mine. I have God right here. So he's the center of my attention. The center of my motherfucking joy. Not my fault you believe in fables. Let me see how it work out. Let me see how the fuck it work out. But at the same time, this is these people knowing that they have to drop their guards, drop their egos, and drop all their shenanigans because God sent you here for a reason. This is a person who has purpose and people trying to stop that. But using your flaws against you to say that you can't do the job. You can't because you have this. You can't because you have that. What the fuck? God gave me that and he gave me this. All he wanted me to do was accept this and that. Now I've accepted it. Now I'm going to need you to move the fuck out my way so I can do what the fuck I need to do. Okay? Let's go to calmness. Yeah, this is the part of your purpose. I just said that. This is changing that though. But this is calmly walking in your purpose. This is walking in your purpose with a smile on your face and being strong no matter what your flaws are. No matter what people think about your flaws. This is you being able to stay calm. But you change the atmosphere. You change because you're debunking the truth, right? So you're going to be dealing with people who have a spiritual concept. So they have to change that. So, but it's going to make them feel calmer. It's going to bring them about more peace. The only problem is they have to change their slave mentality. I'm sorry, y'all, but we, sometimes have slave mentality. I mean, that's our roots. So we're used to having slave owners, or we're used to listening to somebody else that wants to be our master when we have a master. But we ain't in bondage no more, people. We're not in bondage no more because like God is here. This is taking people from bondage to enjoy like who they are. That's why I said this is the whole philosophy of true love and how to get it. It's not saying that true love doesn't exist. I'm not saying that. There is this thing as love, pure love. True, it's just a pure love, right? But they want to tell you how to get there. They want to be your owner. They want you to be a slave to their programming and their system. So this is like, as you remain calm and do what you need to do, is going to change the spiritual flow, because this is direction. This changes the spiritual flow of things, and God is watching you to make sure that it happens. But there are some people who will have to stop what they're doing. They know God has arrested these people. You get arrested spiritually. Not just physically. You get arrested spiritually to be able to understand when to leave somebody the fuck alone. So this is a person who has a message and the truth to debunk, and people were fucking with them. But mainly this woman over here. Because she doesn't accept herself. She doesn't know her self-worth. But she'll be okay. This could be a partner in a relationship, the mom interfering with you because this person loved you, flaws and all. This person loved you despite your flaws. And this is a matriarch energy who doesn't want certain people in her family. She's the one insisting to him that they're flaws. But she has to bow down to greatness. Her and a couple more people bow the fuck down to greatness, please. That's how that shit work. Because he's a slave. They want you to bow to them. No. I ain't bound to you. And listen to what I say, y'all. They ain't got to bow to you either. I'm not telling you to bow to me. I'm telling you to bow to my greatness. I'm not fucking telling you to bow to me. I don't want you to, because I ain't your slave owner either. But you gonna bow to my fucking greatness. He said, the king is here. The champ is here. Anyway, let's go to Space Girl, y'all. We got through that? Okay. I didn't expect them to say that, but okay. Tell them to bow to your greatness. You don't gotta bow to me, but just bow to my greatness. Or bow the fuck out. This is them. They gotta bow the fuck out. Shit. What's for spaciousness? Let him go. But there could have been a woman who was trying to stop, your love from coming in or stop your prayer, like the mother. She doesn't, because when you guys get together, if it's a spiritual thing, a spiritual concept, or that pure love and God is about it, that means their family has to shift in order for you to be able to come in there. Like I said, you shift the atmosphere that's in the room. Because you're from a different bloodline, they're from a different bloodline, and if you guys get together, it changes the routes of the bloodline. It changes the generational stronghold. It changes the generational pattern. But there's a woman, a mother, some people don't want to change that. It could be for good or bad. She don't know if it's going to be good or not. She just expected some other shit because you have flaws. Like, maybe you will be good for this family, but I don't like your flaws. I don't like I don't like your mannerisms type shit. That's not the mannerisms is what's going to help this family move forward. What the fuck? Well, because that's him saying again, it's going back to God saying he created you that way for a reason. And she doesn't know that those mannerisms or those little things that she doesn't like are part of what's going to lift the curse. I can't lift the curse without these mannerisms about me. Now, bitch, if you want to just sit on the curse and continue to be under the submission of these slaves and be on their plantation, be my fucking guest. But I would not do that. But obviously, she gonna have to bow down because she in reverse, or she may have already bowed down. For spaciousness, we have the universe. This is that's letting go of things that no longer serve you, but this is creating the space. This is universal consciousness. This is them creating the space to allow you to do what you do. They weren't allowing you. They didn't give you the space. This is why they're in reverse. The attention seekers who were trying to maybe ridicule you or act like your persistence was in vain. These are people who think that your work is in vain. I think it's not, because God is here. Nothing I do is in vain, and it will not be taken as such. Are the ones who are trying to put an end to your work, because that's completion. I see that as the ending something. They're trying to put it, the people who were purposely they were sitting up trying to put it, and they were watching your work so they can end it. This is them not being able to know how to touch you. You don't know where I start or where I end, so you won't be able to interfere. These are people not having the ability to see you work. They just gonna see your greatness. So these are people who are trying to see your work and probably steal it, or see your work and try to come against it. They're not gonna be able to see your work no more. They just gonna only see your greatness. The fuck. That's why I said at first, bow down to my greatness, not me. So these are people who were trying to say something about you and cover up your work or ridicule your work because of how you did it or how you said it. Let's get an angel message. I hope y'all understood that. You are loved. That's why I say you love my flaws, think they make me beautiful. Now, with the true love concept, this is you debunking it. But at the same time, I said you did have people that loved you. They loved your insight. They loved you for who you were. They loved your flaws even. And that's why this matriarch energy was mad, or certain people were mad, because they are the ones who tried to say you can't love her because she's not like us. You can't love her because she does this. You can't tell nobody who to love because you're not the true love expert. He is. And I'm connected to him. So that means I would know, I know just as much as you think the fuck you know. You have an aspect, a concept of it. Just a taste of it. The fuck? You got the full cup. They got a taste. They took a sip and was like, oh, let's go make this into that. You took a sip of it. You ain't even taste all of it. Sit. Ugh. It was a sip that they took. It took a sip and a swallow. And then, not the whole bottle, bitch. But anyway, that's coming into people's awareness, but do know that you are still loved in spite of, even loved by God, and just loved for who you are and loved for the ability to be able to debunk this. And people are going to like, you're going to see the love that was stolen from you due to these technical difficulties. So I do love you, and I pray that you have an amazing week.